MyHeritage just released Scribe AI. So I just wanted to invite you to come along with me. I've just plopped down at my chair here, saw the announcement, and I want to give it a whirl. So let's do it together. I have come here to myheritage.com, and I'm a subscriber, so I looked under photos and I see Scribe AI. Now, this is a new tool, so you can certainly try it for free on a limited basis to see what you think. I'm going to click Scribe AI, and it says here that I can upload a document that I have, and it will analyze it. It could potentially transcribe it, translate it, give me research insights. That sounds pretty good to me. So I know that I happen to have a digitized copy of the original notes that my grandmother gave to me when I was 8 years old. I first got interested in genealogy. And as I always tell people, I was the only kid in grade school using her allowance to buy death certificates. I mean, I was so into it. But when we first got together and she told me about her family, she was just scribbling on the back of a note that was sitting on a coffee table. So I have that note, I've scanned it, and now I'm going to upload it and see what Scribe AI can tell me about it. So here at myheritage.com/scribe-AI, I am going to click the upload image button, and I'm going to head to my genealogy file. Here's Grandma's notes. Okay, and open. Okay, so we've been given a little notice here. We have to give our consent to doing this. It says Scribe AI is an AI feature developed by MyHeritage. Before you can use it, you are required to agree that the documents and photos that you upload for this feature and the data extracted from them that may include personal information will be processed by MyHeritage and by Google to provide you with insights, transcriptions, and analysis. Additionally, you agreed to not upload documents containing personal information of living individuals or photos of living people without their permission. And that makes a lot of sense. We really should be following those guidelines anytime we're using any AI chatbot for genealogy purposes, or really any other purposes, but we always do genealogy here. So I'm good with that because these notes don't talk about living people, and I have the rights to them. It's my note. So I will agree and click continue. Let's see how quick this is. It looks like the uploading is happening pretty quickly, and it'll just pause, right? Although I imagine here on the first day, it's going to be really, really busy here at MyHeritage. Okay, great. So now what it's doing is it's examining my image, gathering key details. Oh, I can't wait. Because, there's a couple of things on this note that I still haven't deciphered. I have been following Grandma's clues, but I don't remember everything that she told me in addition to what she jotted down. I was 8 years old. Oh, that was a little while ago. Okay, a long while ago. Anyway, there were some things that she mentioned on this note that I have tried to pursue, and maybe MyHeritage will give me some additional research clues or make better heads or tails of it than I could. So we're going to just hang in here. I'm so glad you've joined me here. Head to genealogygems.com and you can sign up for my free email newsletter while you're waiting, because that is the best way to stay in touch with me. All the podcasts, all the videos that we're publishing here, we're going to notify you through the email. And when you get your first email as a newsletter subscriber, you will get a free ebook from me, some of my best tips and tricks. So I think you'll enjoy that. And here it is. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's it. Yeah, she wrote Mama Michalowski. She thought her mother's maiden name was Michalowski, possibly, wasn't sure. So let's see what MyHeritage has to say. Okay, this document is a piece of informal handwritten genealogical notes, correct? Likely jotted down by a family member to record your family's oral history. Yep. It serves as a memory aid, capturing names, relationships, and locations across different generations. The notes reveal a family with roots in Germany, specifically around Gladbeck and Dortmund, and connections to the United States, Blankenton, South Dakota. The casual layout, including crossed out words and group names, suggest it was written dynamically, perhaps during a conversation about your family tree. Yeah, that's exactly when it happened. All right, so that's the historical context of this item. I could click copy to clipboard And then I could paste that into a Word document or my master genealogy database. I use Roots Magic. I could drop it in there. But let's see what else it can tell me. Okay, details mentioned. Open up the menu. Based on the documents, you can extract the following details about the individuals mentioned. So Mama Mikulowski, mentioned at the top. Bizorik. That's interesting that it thought it was a B. I always thought that was a V like Victor. Maybe that's why I couldn't find anybody. Bizorik identified as a stepbrother with a residence noted as Plankington, South Dakota. 610 or possibly Lixten identified as an uncle associated with Dortmund, Germany. Well, that's interesting that it thought that was an X. I have been looking at that word right here in the middle. I thought it was SCTIN. See, this is kind of giving me an opportunity to open up my thinking a little bit about what I'm perceiving it to say. And hey, I can take some of these options that MyHeritage is giving me and do some searches on those. And maybe that will bring up a record that I haven't come across before. That would be exciting. Adam and Carlotta Lotta, a couple living in Gladbeck, which is described as a mining town. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. And it did say LATTA. It's interesting. I have come to learn from my research that it's LADDA, Lada. But, Grandma was doing the best she could, what she remembered. Richard, Greta, Margareta, Walter, and Adam listed as the children of Adam and Carlotta Lotta. Oh, say that 16 times. With Adam noted as the youngest. Martha, born in Gladbeck, Germany. I know Martha is my grandmother's sister. Gustav, originally written as August and crossed out. Yeah. He is described as the youngest of 7 brothers and associated with the phrase ní spabhairt in Irish. Oh, let me tell you, my friends, this is like it's not really a brick wall. It's the mystery of my entire genealogical career. Since I was 8 years old, what was she trying to tell me? I have researched spabhairts. I don't know why these Germans would have a version of their name in Irish. If you do, gosh, go to the comments section and let me know, because I would really, really love any input anybody could give me on this. Grandma is talking about her father, and that he was the youngest of 7 brothers. Elijah Maria, identified as Bernice's grandfather. And that's another mystery. I'm just not sure what that connection is. I've looked up Bernice, BERMECE, I don't see a dot for the I, so I'm not sure that that's what that says. Oh, another mystery to be solved. Frank, identified as a son, likely in relation to Elijah Maria or Bernice. So it did an amazing job with handwriting. And I know that all of you, like me, have been yearning for the day when cryptic, scribbled handwriting, sometimes even writing in another language, would be decipherable. And AI seems to be doing a heck of a job. So I could copy this as well, drop this into a research plan. If you want to learn more about how to make a research plan, my premium members over at genealogygems.com have access to my online course. It's how to create a genealogy research plan in 10 minutes a day. At the end of a week, you will have a fantastic plan and a master template that you can use going forward. So keep that in mind. You could drop this into your research plan. You could put it in a Word document, drop it into Evernote, whatever you keep your notes, and start picking away at these as opportunities. And I see some opportunities here for me to try searches on variations of names that I have not tried before. So let's look at the key findings. So many different areas they're able to address here. The document is handwritten collection of family history notes. We know that. You'll find a family cluster, Adam and Carlotta Lotta from Gladbeck, along with their 4 children. Yep, Richard, Greta, Walter, and Adam, my grandmother's cousins. The notes highlight international family connections. It mentions those places again, so those are the findings, kind of repeating itself a little bit. The document provides you with specific clues for further research. It does. It really does. looking at that Spowert surname, boy, this actually kind of encourages me to go back and try that again, because I have done that several times and I just can't seem to find the connection. And then birthplaces with siblings. Okay, suggested next steps. Let's get to the meat of this. What can AI suggest to us as a researcher to try to break through on some of these items? You should search MyHeritage for census records and passenger lists for the Lotta family originating in Gladbeck. I have, and I have found them. It's fantastic. You can investigate Elijah, Maria, and Frank in the U.S. or European census records on MyHeritage to establish their exact timeline. I could go back and start doing more. I have not tried the Elijah Marie in a while, and I know that MyHeritage has been adding a lot of new records. All of these genealogy websites do. So that's a tip for you guys. If you have a subscription to a site, or even if you don't, go back and browse the catalog, run some searches. You might be surprised at some of the new records that are available. There's ongoing digitization projects. And if it happens to be a website you don't subscribe to, well, then maybe you could do a free trial. You could also do even a monthly subscription just to get your hands on the records that you need. So that's a great idea. Look into the name Bizarric, which in similar spellings, and that is a spelling I had not considered before, so I will do that. You should explore German civil registration and church records for Gladbeck and Dortmund to find birth and marriage records for that Lotta family. And I think this is really nice, particularly if you are new to genealogy research. You know, you don't know what you don't know. And if you're not familiar with all different types of records, the fact that there are German civil registration as well as church records, one being created by the government at the time, and of course, one being created by the church body, covering some of the same information, but definitely different records. And they have unique information you're not going to find in one or the other. So this is really a nice hint. You know, if maybe you've been doing research for a while, but now this is your first foray into Germany, this would be a wonderful little prod to let you know what to look for in the card catalog. And that's another kind of pro tip for you. If you just go to the search box on your favorite genealogy website, you're really only getting a fraction of the potential records. To really explore everything, you've got to head to their card catalog, because not everything is included in hinting or in the search fields, and it depends on how it was indexed and what's unique about those records. And when it comes to hinting, they tend to focus on the most common genealogical records, the ones census, birth, death, marriage, that type of thing. So to get everything, you got to head to the card catalog. I've actually got some videos on that on my website and on the YouTube channel if you'd like to learn more about really digging into your favorite genealogy website's card catalog. So let's get a full transcription. We're going to click full text transcription. Interesting. Oh, look at this. Okay, this is really fun. But this is fun. AI didn't make any judgments about what the information was, in what way it was displayed. It transcribed everything. And I think this is really important. Why? Well, first of all, the first thing you see there typed is pediatric emergencies, and it's crossed out by the AI. Why would she have written that? Well, if you knew my grandma, you would know that she was a nurse. She was actually, I believe she was an obstetrics nurse, and she was a nurse for 50 years. So pediatric obstetrics, and she must have started using this page for something else, crossed it out and said, family history is more important. I like that. But no, her work, she was so devoted to her work. And in fact, she helped deliver me when I was born. So even a scribbled out notation that you might have on some family document that has come your way, look them up, pay attention to them. Those also are clues. That was something on the mind of the relative who was using that piece of paper. So I love this. It's very applicable. It's going to be transcribing using the spelling that it thinks is closest. We can't be sure that that's correct. So everything that comes out of AI, my friends, has to go through this ear, through here, and out this ear. It's going to have to be your brain gray matter that is going to do the final analysis and interpretation and research. It's, this is not ever going to really replace us, but it's become a bit of an awesome tool that you could tuck into your genealogy tool belt and speed up the process and really get you thinking beyond what initially occurs to you. And, new ideas means possible new findings. So again, it's, interesting. It's putting the lines, the up and down lines between the different names. It's trying to mimic what's on the page. And Germany, it didn't spell out Gladbeck, Germany. It did the GER period. I appreciate that. That's accurate. Interesting. It seems to think that the word or the name August is crossed out. It's actually not crossed out. And maybe it's the line that she wrote between Gustav and Nies Borowski that it somehow is getting a little bit confused. So a little bit of an error there, if you will. Youngest of 7 brothers. Okay. Elijah Maria. Now, this brings something else important to mind. And I want to really wrap with this idea because I think it's so important when you're using artificial intelligence to help you. Again, as a tool, not as a replacement genealogist. As well as it tried to do it, it was not able to perfectly lay out the text exactly the way it appears on the page. And why is that important? Well, because when we write as people, we're thinking left to right, but sometimes we're also kind of looking up and down. She might be making a note over to the left and then one over to the right because she's thinking about what was written on the line before. I don't think AI is really thinking about that. And so we lose just a little bit of context when we get a transcription like this. We're losing the placement on the page. Just like if you were to get a photo album and you started taking all the photographs out and you start scanning them and you think I'm just doing a great job organizing, but you come to discover that you have a pile of photos on your desk and you have lost the continuity because the person who put the photos into the album did so probably purposefully or at a minimum chronologically as things happened. So when we take stuff off the page, whether it's a photograph or transcribed text, we are potentially removing some of that really potentially valuable context. So my suggestion would be copy this, you jump over to a Word document, and I paste this text. The last thing I think I might do is actually use my spacebar and try to move the text around to, again, mimic the placement on the page. Even things like where she underlined mama, and AI didn't pick up on that, so she's kind of making that a heading. Take the time to take the transcribed text and recreate it, reposition it, and double check anything that you think that AI missed before you finalize your copy of the document and then start moving forward in your research. But overall, I have to say, I do think I find this fairly helpful. And most importantly, I think I can see a tremendous amount of potential in how it's going to develop. It's only going to get stronger and better. Hopefully, and I would have to, if you asked me, well, what do you predict? This is 2026. What's going to happen next year? Maybe we will see this kind of stuff happening with all of the records, right? They've already got everything digitized on the website. They have this technology. We're going to be kind of the guinea pigs, if you will, the beta testers as we start using it as users, happily so. But then they eventually will refine it, and I bet we're going to be seeing this applied to all records in the future. At least we can hope so. So anything else here that's kind of unique? Well, we can zoom in, we can zoom out, we can make it full screen. Oh, look at that, kind of pops it into a new window. I don't know if that appeared on your screen, but it did. It popped it out, made it its own window by itself. And up here, we have analyze another image. So we can upload one or choose an existing image. We really don't need to download this. It gave us an opportunity to download each section on its own by copying and pasting. Maybe something we could look forward to, I hope, is a downloadable version. So maybe it could put together everything for us on one page and then allow us to download it. That'd be kind of nice. I'd love to hear what you think. What would you like to see in this feature? Make some suggestions, because I know that MyHeritage comes and checks out what everybody's saying about what they're doing. They need our input. So our comment section is a great place to do that. And if you've used this, how accurate was it? Head into the comments. Tell me what kind of document that you used. Did it bring anything to your attention that you had missed previously? And maybe you could kind of rate it and tell us how you think it fared in terms of accuracy. You know, it's really a good thing when we get to see new tools coming our way to help us with our genealogy research. It just means a little less time doing the menial work and a little more time spent with our ancestors. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I really love talking genealogy with you. Be sure to head over to genealogygems.com. Get on the email newsletter. We'll stay in touch. And until then, thanks so much for listening, my friend. I'll talk to you soon.